All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our top 10 list, counting down the top 10 best characters from The Walking Dead. Alright, so we went ahead and did one of these for Fear the Walking Dead. I decided, okay, let's continue and do one for the original Walking Dead TV series. Top 10 best characters. Now, I want to say The Walking Dead is going into its final part of its season this fall. Pretty much makes 13 years or whatever it's been on. There was a break year for the shutdowns and stuff. But basically, with the extensions, like 12 full seasons, bonus episodes included, it's basically 12 seasons of The Walking Dead TV series completed when the series ends, and so this will be the top 10 list for that. Now, in that time period, this is a very difficult list to make with just 10 because there are so many characters that are really amazing in The Walking Dead and really put on some incredible performances, incredible episodes from some of the cast and everybody, and it's very hard to narrow down all of these seasons and all of these episodes into just 10 characters. But here it is. This is my list. Honorable mentions. I mean, there's so many honorable mentions. There's just so many. Like Alpha, for example, Beta, for example. Honorable mentions. The Governor, another one that's really close here for me, but just gets edged out. I mean, there's so many throughout the series that are awesome characters. It's really hard to narrow it down. Merle would be another example of another great one that used to be on all my lists, and he hasn't been in the series a long time, so I can't keep putting him on. But top 10 best characters. Let's just do it. Number 10, I'm going to go first with Glenn. Now, I do still think that even after all these years since he's been killed off since season 7, so that I guess that kind of makes him like a half-series character. He's in the first half of the series, I guess, and in the second half, Glenn isn't there for that. But we do have to put Glenn on the list. I mean, so much heart, a character that everybody misses seeing. It's a shame that Stephen Yeun is not interested in reprising his role as Glenn in the Walking Dead TV series. I'm thinking like some hallucination sequences for Maggie or things like that. Maybe for Negan too, but he doesn't want to. We can understand. His final scene is absolutely brutal. I watched it back the other day, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I didn't remember how brutal his final scene. It's freaking brutal, dudes. It's brutal. But he's an awesome character, right? There's the dumpster stuff. Thank you. Everything, like all the episodes he's in, absolutely amazing. So I had to put him on the list here somewhere. Yes, I know Governor's awesome and Alpha's awesome and a lot of the others are awesome, but Glenn's got to be on here. So he'll be number 10. Number 9, I'm going to put Shane on the list. Now, he's one where I'm really happy that Jon Bernthal came back for Rick's final episode, and he's one that has had a good amount of episodes after he was actually killed off in the series, and I really appreciate that Jon Bernthal was willing to do that. He's one of the original series villains. I see lists sometimes still, which still put him as the best villain for The Walking Dead. I think that's a little bit, strange because, you've had so many seasons, so many amazing villains. But when people watch The Walking Dead, they're always going to watch the first season first. So I can understand, the first couple seasons, why he would always kind of be, of mind and of mention, because he's like the original big bad for Walking Dead, sort of, in some ways. Like if you look at season 2, right before Governor, before everybody else, so he kind of takes precedent in that, and also the fact that he came back later. If Jon Bernthal would have never came back, I think we wouldn't really put Shane on the list as one of the top 10 best characters. But because he did for Rick's final episode and stuff, that really added meaning to Rick's final episode. It added, a lot to it, and so I'll just say that, I'll put him on there. I'll put him at number 9. Number 8 is going to be for Carl. This is one that in older lists, I didn't always have him, but I still get comments all the time from people that they stopped watching Walking Dead when Carl was killed off. This was one, in season 8, where so many people, and, I did a specific video. It was a live stream. It was called, When Did You Stop Watching Walking Dead? Because I know a lot of people have fallen off with the show. I understand it's been on a long time and there's so many episodes, it's hard to keep up with everything, busy life and stuff, right? But Carl has to be on the list, I think, for the amount of people that stopped watching after he was killed off. That really says something about how many fans Carl has and had, that people watched the series up to that point when he was killed off in season 8. After that, they were finished. So that's a fan favorite character. If you can seriously make a difference in the show like that after you're gone, not as many people are interested to watch, and it's substantial. Like it's a lot of people, right? So people identifying with Carl, people seeing him from him being their point of view character based on their age and stuff. So I got to put Carl in there. I'll put him at number 8. Number 7, I'm going to put Morgan. Now he was on our list also for Fear the Walking Dead, near the top as well too. I put him in second for Fear. I'm still going to have him on the list for the original Walking Dead. I think that Morgan, I'll put him at 7 though, because I do recognize that he hasn't been in there for a while, and even in the earlier seasons, he wasn't always with the group all the time and stuff. But I still have to put him there because he has some of the best episodes in the original Walking Dead series, especially earlier on. Episodes like Clear, meeting Rick at the beginning, coming back in season, was it like 5, made it so exciting to see him kind of return. Season 6, and then he was there for All Out War. And since then, I really appreciate all of his work on Fear the Walking Dead, really making that, the best show that it can be. And so by adding him to it, just makes it even better than it would be otherwise. He's a great character, so he's got to be on here. I'll put him at 7 because he's left, right? So he's not still there all the time. But I think he deserves to be on here. And yes, the fact that he is doing Fear also doesn't hurt as well, too, because he's kind of like, in some ways, he's like the Rick for that show. He's like the older, kind of fatherly, good guy figure for some of the others. So I'll put Morgan at 7. Number 6 is going to be Rosita. I almost forgot to put her on the list, and I had to come back and re-edit this because I was like, oh, no. She has to be on the list at this point, right? She's been in the series since season 4. And I feel like she's kind of the standout character for the Eugene, Abraham, and Rosita appearance. Now, in the comics, I think she was killed off earlier, so she wouldn't even be alive at this time in the comics. But she is really great in the TV series version of her, right? Like she's much better than the comic version, I think. I think that she has surpassed, I think Christian has surpassed the comic book series version of the character, added even more life to the character, more likability to her. And she's kind of the standout for the Abraham, Eugene, Rosita group that joins, basically, Rick and the survivors, Daryl and everybody else, right? So she's one that has to be on here. Eugene's cool too, but I don't view him as like the standout out of the group. Abraham kind of used to be, but I feel like over the seasons, Rosita has kind of taken on that role more. And so I'll put her at number 6. Number 5, since she returned for kind of the wrap-up for the Walking Dead TV series, I'm going to put Maggie on here. I used to have Michonne in these type of spots here, but Michonne's been gone for a while. And, when it comes down to it, the characters that are there for the end, I think when you look back on a show, you look back on a series after it's over, after it's ended, the ones that are there at the very end, that, either maybe she left and then came back, whatever, just the way the timing has worked out, I think that it really does, add to the character when they're able to be there to see the series end, right? So I'm going to put Maggie on there. She's had some great stuff with Negan, which was very unexpected. I didn't expect to see them do such a great job of her with Negan and the two of them learning to kind of coincide or somehow not kill each other, because that was a big question when Maggie came back with Negan being there. Is she going to kill him or what's going to happen? They've used Herschel as well too with Negan, and that's been amazing. Some of the best stuff in season 11 for Walking Dead, maybe the best stuff, is between Maggie and Negan with Herschel in the middle. So I'm going to put her at number 5. Number 4, I'm going to put Carol. Now, she is one that I thought about having her like really close near the top, but the thing is that she has some episodes where she does like some really awesome action stuff, and it's really cool for her and everything, but I had higher hopes. I'd probably have her higher on the list if she would have been in the Daryl Carol spinoff series. The fact that she's not going to be, and it's kind of not working out that way due to location and stuff like this, I'm going to put her at this spot. I'm going to put her at number 4. So Carol's still amazing. She's one of the best characters in the whole series. She's got to be, close to the top here for some of the episodes like No Sanctuary and stuff like that are really incredible with her. But I'm not going to put her like at the very top. Number 3, I am going to move up Negan. This is one where I think he's starting to get close to some of these top spots here, especially depending on how things go with Isle of the Dead. If Isle of the Dead, which is going to be the Maggie and Negan spinoff in New York, if that lands well, Negan could quickly, you guys know that Negan's always been one of my favorite characters in The Walking Dead overall, especially comics and stuff. He's like an amazing villain and incredible. But now we're getting to see him kind of as a hero, and the way they did it was really amazing. It was a long transition from him being this brutal, bash your head in with a baseball bat villain when he first shows up to where he's at now, where you understand that he kills and he has to do stuff, but Maggie has to also, right, with Reapers and stuff, and so you can kind of understand that way a little bit better. Also, he's been awesome to have these last couple years after Rick has been gone. I feel like he's had some of the best stuff, like with him and Alpha, with him and like in Carol and the deal that's worked out there, with him and Maggie and what's happened with, that's some of the best stuff of this whole season, I would say. So I'm going to put him at number 3, and I wouldn't, depending on how things go with these spin-offs, depending on how Isle of the Dead works out, and if it's like the best of all the spin-offs, that would be really cool for Negan if that happens. But if we don't see something with the next character coming up pretty soon, then Negan might inch it out. So this is the tough one right here, guys. Who is the top character for The Walking Dead now, and as things are finishing off? All right, so the first 1 and 2 go together. Obviously, you guys know who they're going to be. One's going to be Rick, and the other is going to be Daryl. Which position do we put which in? Who is the top character for Walking Dead? Well, I mean, the series is wrapping up, right? The series is ending. And so, when it's over, when it's all said and done, I think the one that we're going to remember the most is going to be the one that was there at the end when they rode off into the sunset. And I think that's going to be Daryl. So I'm going to put Rick at number 2. It saddens me to do it. It's such a shame. But I gotta say, okay, I think we can say now at this point that Daryl has kind of surpassed Rick. I believe Norman Reedus has passed him in terms of a screen time. He's had more minutes on screen, more episodes, more screen time overall than Rick had in the series. It has been since season 9 that Rick left, right? So it's been a while, and the Rick movies, unfortunately, if we had some awesome trailers and stuff, and we're going to see the Rick movies or a Rick streaming series soon, then maybe we still say that Rick is kind of the biggest character for Walking Dead and we put him at the very top. But because they have kind of, at least in my opinion, they've dropped the ball so hard with the movies. This is very unexpected, right? Because they announced, we're going to do a trilogy, whatever, and now it's like, going to be 5 years later, 6 years later soon, because it takes a couple years to make a movie, and they haven't really started yet. I got to move Rick to number 2, right? I mean, I can't put him at number 1, considering the Daryl spinoff series is already confirmed, and unless that falls through or something due to AMC or whatever's going on, that sounds like it's actually going to be really good, or I'm looking forward to that. And we still have not seen anything for Rick. So if Rick comes back in a big way and does some awesome movies, and they're the best thing we've ever seen for Walking Dead, then maybe we can move him back up into the top spot. But I think, based on how the series is ending right now, I think we have to put Daryl as in the end, the best Walking Dead character. I mean, it's up to you. Leave your comments below. I know Rick is on a lot of the covers, early seasons and stuff. He's your forefront character we start the series with from his point of view. It's unfortunate the way things have turned out, but it is what it is, and so I got to put Daryl at number 1. That's it for this video, guys. Be sure to leave your comments below. Top 10 best Walking Dead characters, who you got. Don't rage at me because I'm giving you mine. I know there's so many other villains that would be cool to add, but you only got 10 picks, so who do you got? And who's your top character, let's say? Who's your number 1? Do you still put Rick at number 1, or do you think, okay, now we can say that Daryl has taken that spot, and or do you put Carol higher maybe? Comments below. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. I'll see you soon.